Welcome back to episode 4 of What's on Your Mind. Today is January the 4th, so first and foremost, Happy New Year. It's been a while since I've showed my face on my channel, but I felt like it was time for me to bring it back. I've been kind of itching to have these type of conversations, whether it's by myself or not. So here I am. I don't have a guest today, but today we are going to feature the healing edition from the and card, and also a couple of cards from the self-love deck from tonight's conversation. And the featured cocktail is a blood orange margarita by the Hornitos brand with a splash of pineapple and mango juice. So let's get started. Cheers. All right, so in an attempt to keep it brief, I only pulled 3 cards from each deck. I have not looked at any of them, just so I can try to have the most genuine and authentic answers and responses in real time, so y'all can feel like y'all kind of processing it with me. So I like to just like shuffle them up and pick one, and let's start with this one. All right, so it's from the self-love deck, and it says, if everything you see or hear feeds your mind, which it does, what type of diet have you been on lately? Ooh. Okay, so I would say kind of a midways diet, not super healthy, not super unhealthy. I've still been ingesting my podcast that inspired me and things like that. Music has been a mix because I don't listen to music as much these days. Like, I don't really know what's going on. But I will say what haven't been feeding my mind properly is my thoughts around certain circumstances. But I can say that overall my diet on what's feeding my mind is so-so. It's not exactly where it needs to be, but I'm working on that. So we have room for improvement with this card. All right, the next one is from the self-love deck as well. And just kidding, because these are the instructions. All right, let me pull a different one. All right, so this one is from the and edition, and it says, in what ways do you think we perceive life similarly? So typically this would be a card that you would do when it's 2 people, so each person would ask each other that question. So I'm gonna skip that one and I might replace it later. All right, so let's do another one from the and. It says, what's one experience you wish we can share together in the next year? Once again, that would be a 2-person thing. I would just pick another one. All right, so disclaimer, if you were to order the healing edition of the and cards, it is meant for it to be a 2-person conversation. So I did have to kind of shuffle through the cards and pick one and read which one I can answer on my own, and then I'll just kind of focus on the self-love deck. But the one that I picked was, what is the one emotion I should practice more of and why? So like I said, typically I would be asking the other person that question, but I'll ask myself and answer. The first thing that comes to mind is empathy. I think I definitely have room to grow in terms of empathy for other people, but outside of that, if I really had to think, like, for me and myself, I would think whatever you call the emotion of acknowledging what has been done, what has been accomplished, and just kind of sitting in that, sitting in that instead of just thinking, okay, that's done, what's next, that's done, what's next, accomplish that, what's next. Whatever you call the emotion where you appreciate what you've done and you take time to acknowledge that, that's what I need more of. All right, so the next card is from the self-love deck. It says, are you and your 3 closest friends growing at the same pace? If not, why do you think that is? So for this one is difficult for me because while yes, I have close friends, I don't communicate with any of my friends regularly. I'm actually trying to change that as of this year, 2025. So honestly, I can't say if they are or not growing at the same rate as me, because they very well could be. I'm just not in contact with them regularly to know that, and I do want to change that this year. So yeah, I have that to look forward to. All right, so I just pulled a few more of the cards from the self-love deck. Once again, have not looked at them, but this one says, what person who is still in your life hurt you the most? Are they aware of how deeply they cut you? Ooh. I don't think I'm ready to talk about that one. The next card says, if your attention was an arrow, what target have you been aiming at lately? Okay. Bringing it back around. So I would say, honestly, 24/7, my arrow is aiming at my future. I like to be very future forward. I thrive in knowing that I have a plan for my future. So especially as of lately, me trying to refocus and get back on track and just really figure out what the next X amount of years of my life look like, or what just my future in general looks like. I've definitely been aiming at my goals. I've been aiming at my vision for the future, because things have been kind of unclear for me. I've been having some troubled waters, but you know, that's life. So I've just been trying to navigate. I've been trying to navigate that as each day arrives and go from there. But definitely it's always gonna be future forward. I'm always thinking about my future. The next card says, as a child, is this how you imagined your life would be? If not, is it better or worse? Ugh. Touchy topic. So I will say, honestly, now that I think about it, I don't know how I imagined my life to be when I was a child, if I'm being quite honest. I feel like I didn't really get a clear vision for how I wanted my life to look until I left home and went to college. And at that point, I was like 17, 18. No, 18, 19. So I can't really speak for what the child me thought. But I will say, no, it doesn't look exactly like how I thought it would be. However, I know I'm still working towards that. I'm only 26, about to be 27 next month. So I know I have a long life ahead of me. I know I still have time to create that life that I want my life to look like. So it's no pressure. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up and close out our tab with this last card from the self-love deck. And it says, how much do you love yourself, and do your actions support that value? I think that's a great card to end on. So in terms of how much I love myself, I definitely feel as if I love myself more than anybody else loves me. Not saying that there's a lack of love for me externally, but I know my worth, I know my value, and I appreciate that in myself. I'm my favorite person. I understand me the most, so I know my self-love is there. However, I will say, currently within the last year or so, probably more than a year, my actions haven't been fully supporting that value, just because life routines have been changing and things like that. My regimens and my lifestyle has changed to the point where I'm not doing as many things as I used to do that support that value of my self-love. But I'm working on it. I'm getting back into the swing of things when it comes to that and other things. There's some things that I used to do, I used to practice, that I felt like I was prioritizing my self-love, that I feel like I have been slacking on. But it's okay, new year, new beginning, you know, fresh start. We're gonna try to get those back into play. And yeah, so I can say I am lacking in the area where my actions aren't fully supporting exactly how much I love myself. But it's a work in progress, which I'm sure that everyone can relate to that. You know, things happen, life get thrown off the tracks, and you just got to get back on the tracks, you know, pick yourself up and try again. So yeah, I'm going to close out on that video. This was fun. It was a quick one. I didn't want to make it too long. I just wanted to get on here. I was excited to make another video and just get back in the swing of my what's on your mind videos. I do plan on still having some guests every now and then, but a lot of things have changed since the last time I've shown up on my YouTube page. So it's just, you know, things are, for lack of better words, things are in motion, things are flourishing, and this is the start of something I hope that I can continue to be consistent with, and it continues to grow. So thank you for watching. If you haven't seen the previous 3 What's on Your Mind episodes, go check those out. And yeah, if you like what you saw today, give me a like, comment, subscribe, you know, all the YouTube things, and I'll see you next time. Bye.